This is just going to be like a kind of holistic way of addressing sadness, anxiety, depression, just things that I've noticed. Okay, first of all, you're not crazy because the way that we're living is so deeply unnatural. You're not crazy for feeling like depressed and anxious and stressed. Like the way that humanity is living, how we're treating each other, how we're treating the earth, for you to feel that imbalance, there's not something wrong with you. I'm a very like emotional and sensitive person. I feel things very deeply. And it was something for a long time that I thought was like a weakness until I understood that, you know, the universe puts people on earth who are meant to feel. We are meant to feel because the universe is learning and experiencing things through us. And there are people who don't feel as deeply as we do. And there's something beautiful about that. There's strength in sensitivity. So first of all, if you feel things very deeply, don't feel like you're weak, don't feel like something's wrong with you, it's actually strength. Because it allows you to have empathy, compassion, and understanding. And those are three things that, in order for humanity to move forward, we need those things. And many of us have been told to bury our emotions, to ignore them, that, oh, you're too sensitive, or you're too this, or too that. And it's like, this is a strength. So carry that and be proud of that. So yes, it's a strength, but it can also feel like a burden. I would say that I'm an empath. I'm extremely highly sensitive to energies, to emotions, a lot of different things. I feel things, I know things, I get dreams, whatever, however you want to say it. Everybody has their own type of powers, is what I truly believe. Like, I'm not special. There's a lot of people out there in the earth that are like me. But I would say that you have to have a tool belt of how to deal with these emotions. So the first thing I'm going to suggest to you is get a mindset coach. Mine is Laura St. John. Her website is Strong Confident Living. She helps you practice trust in yourself and your intuition, and trust in the process. And I'll just leave it at that. The second thing that has been very helpful to me is creating a ritualistic flow. What I mean by that is honoring my emotions and giving them almost like a container. I'm a water sign. Baths really work for me. For some people, movement. You can literally dance, working out, running, skating, really anything where you just force your body to move. It's going to force some of that energy to kind of whoop. The other thing that's been really helpful for me is having a spiritual practice and prayer, meditation. Ultimately, you want to get to a point where you are living in meditation. For me, this is when I'm like the most clear-headed. I don't have an internal dialogue constantly going at all times. My mind is clear, it's blank. I'm here, I'm present in the moment. Sensitive people, you feel energy. Sometimes we take that on. But when you are in yourself, like you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're just here in the now, and you walk into a room and you feel energy from all angles, all sides, whatever, and you're just like, okay, I know what feels like me and what doesn't. So you don't take on other people's stuff because you are in a meditative state internally. And this seems like crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, that's something that only like monks and whoever can do. And no, it's something that all of us can do. And all you really need to do to reach that point is practice meditating. Sometimes it's difficult for me to focus. When I meditate, I don't force myself to like do 30-minute meditations, an hour-long meditation. I literally will do it sometimes for like 5 minutes, even if there's this much left of the meditation. I feel that I'm good for now. You want to aim with the eventuality in mind that, okay, this is my state of mind all the time. Like it's the difference between somebody who works out and someone who lives an active lifestyle. It's like somebody who's active throughout the day versus someone who just goes and does an hour workout every day and they don't move at all for the rest of the day. It's like ideally you would want to get to a point where you're doing an active lifestyle so you have movement throughout the day. And ideally you would want to get to a place with meditation where you are in a living, breathing meditation. You train your mind to be safe and comfort in that state. I literally talk to myself. I mean, it's like thoughts are an internal dialogue. Like if I see my brain getting distracted or going on, I'm like, hey, like come back here. Or like if I see my brain is getting like anxious or like, oh man, I'm like, hey, like we're safe. Like I'm gonna keep you safe, you're fine, just stay here. Like that type of thing, like almost treating it as like a child or a pet has been really helpful for me. You get to that state as well, you're able to flow through life, like be in a flow state throughout your day. It makes reality like magical. The less screen time, the better, because what I've noticed for myself is that energetically, things are felt through the screen. We're constantly receiving images, we're constantly receiving messages. Set a timer for yourself and just be like, okay, 10 minutes of mindless scrolling, back to whatever. Replace that time that you were scrolling with reading. I am not somebody who can focus for very long. Like already before the phones and everything I couldn't. And now with the phones it's like times 20. Get yourself little books like this. This is a tiny book. This is 142 pages. To me, it's like better to have the physical book than the screen. Like you want to try to disconnect from the screen because the screen is also going to mess with you emotionally. No matter what you're doing on it. And if you're not on social media, it's still affecting us. The light that comes from the screen, the energy that comes from the device, if you are energetically sensitive, you're going to notice a difference the less you're on it. I say that as I sit here in front of the screen. But the less I use my devices, I feel so much better in every single way, physically, emotionally, mentally. Like it's a way different vibe, and you start to recalibrate to the earth and the earth's energy, just as all the animals do. So there are things that animals do that we're like, we don't understand. Like they migrate, they hibernate, they do all these things. How do they know? They're not prisoner to a screen. So they are connected to the earth. They just follow certain things within their body, within their intuition that humans also have access to, but the screen cuts us off from that because it's not a natural way of living. All right, let me get off my soapbox. The more childlike that you can be, the better time you will have in life. In my opinion, the universe has a sense of humor, and it's called the cosmic giggle. And there is humor, there is playfulness, there is joy, all of these things all around us that we miss because we're so like, how often, first of all, look at this phone case. Let me just take a minute. It's a freaking astronaut. It's so cute. How often do you go to see let's say that you're out and about, and how often do you just look around and see everyone like this? It's so interesting to me, and like I started to realize that I was getting like that. This is an artificial way of living. I'm gonna write a whole book about this called "Don't Even Think About Stealing My Idea." Don't even. But anyway, yeah, it's not natural. There's energy being emitted from this, and it's used to keep tabs on us, to influence us, and to basically make us forget who we truly are. The more you forget who you truly are, the more anxious, the more stressed, the more depressed, the more hopeless you're gonna feel. And then you go to this for numbing. It's like life is so that I don't want to take part in life. I'd rather go to like a virtual universe rather than walk outside and pick fruit off a tree. Let me not get on another soapbox about earth and nature. That's kind of my thing. But so moving on. I feel like I need to adjust my light. Hang on. I feel like, okay. Should I just hold it? Whatever. Okay. I feel like that didn't even help. It's kind of fun. Oh shit, I turned off the wrong thing. Okay. Another thing that like really is gonna make a huge difference if you, I'm not even gonna tell you like go out, socialize. Like I don't blame you for not wanting to be around a lot of people's energy. Like it's very overwhelming if you're an energetically sensitive person. Go spend time in nature, whatever nature is in your area of the world. Going to sit by the water, whether that's walking through the forest, whether that's stargazing, even just cracking your window and letting fresh air in, like you're gonna feel a difference from breathing like all the artificial air that we breathe. Another thing is food. A lot of the food that we eat is artificial and fake. And so like our bodies are not vibing with that. Our bodies want to eat live food, meaning fruits and vegetables. Even like a lot of our fruits and vegetables are being like modified and they're putting bad chemicals on them. So try to find food that makes you feel good. And I'm not talking about I had a bad day and I'm gonna eat like a sleeve of cookie dough. We've all been there. But what I'm more talking about is like I eat fresh fruit, I eat fresh veggies, I feel more energized versus I just ate all of this like processed food and I feel ugh. Because that does affect us mentally, especially over a prolonged period of time. Same thing with water. But I was talking earlier about being more like a child. Everything that you do is the universe expressing itself. The more that you allow that, and you allow that to be what it wants to be, the more in harmony you're gonna feel with yourself. So if that means like you wanna paint, you wanna go skiing, you wanna snowboard, you want to garden, you want to do word puzzles, like whatever that is to you, like embrace it, love it, and allow yourself to have time for that and have space for that because it allows you to return to yourself.